What's up, everybody? What is happening? Today we're going to have some fun. We are going to jump into a modern league with Yawgmoth zombies. This was a deck that I saw on Bosch and Roll's YouTube page, and I decided that I wanted to play around with it a little bit. So we're making some changes to his list, changing the color format a little bit, adding some cards that were not included in his list, and hopefully upgrading his performance, because he went, I think, 1-4 in the league with his version of the list, which was donated by one of his subscribers. So yeah, so here's what we're doing today. This is a black-white Yawgmoth list that is built around zombie synergies. To start off, ramping us through the early game is going to be Aether Vial. This was a card that was excluded from his lists, but I think it fits well into the plan, and I think it's a good way to accelerate your game plan. It seemed his version of the deck seemed a little slow, so I think I think you need something to make you go a little bit faster. It was too fair. Kind of the heart of the deck is 4 Carrion Feeder and 4 Gravecrawler. That's kind of an engine that you have access to. It's nothing new, but that's one of the synergies that this deck is based upon. Champion of the Perished is like Champion of the Parish, I think. So it's kind of like the zombie version of the human pump card. We have an Undying package in the list to play off of Yawgmoth, so 4 Butcher Ghoul, 3 Drolf's Messenger. His list had 4. Messenger is a really slow card, and it's really bad in a lot of situations, so I don't think you want to play a full play set. His list had 4 Undead Augur, which we are also playing. This card can eat away at your life total pretty quickly, especially in combination with Yawgmoth. So I went up on Wayward Servants in the list. This is a way that you can kind of break even with your sacrifice trying to combo. Additionally, a card that he did not have in his list that I am adding in is Fiend Artisan. It's a card I played in a league last night. If you're watching this on YouTube, you'll probably have already seen that. He had 4 Eldritch Evolutions. I like Artisan because it's a threat on its own in this list, and it's I think it's better suited for this type of a deck. Another card that was not included, which a friend on the Discord made me aware of, is Headless Rider. Whenever Headless Rider, another non-token zombie you control, dies, create a 2/2 black zombie creature token. So with Carrion Feeder, with Gravecrawler, or with Yawg, or pretty much just anything in the deck that goes to the graveyard or has a sacrifice effect, you can go really wide really quickly with this. So I think it's a worthwhile inclusion. Sideboard, we've done away with the green in the deck. We've moved over to white. A couple of cards that are valuable in white. We have an Honor Guard for Titan. We have an Honor Guard for Fury decks, Solitude decks, all of those sorts of decks, and also for Archon of Cruelty. Eidolon of Rhetoric shuts off Cascade. It also is good against Prowess. 2 Chalice of the Void for Cascade decks. His list included Necromentia, but I think without ramp, Necromentia is a really bad card. You want to cast it on turn 2, and you can't without any ramp in the deck. So therefore, I think Chalice of the Void is a better option. 2 Leyline of Sanctity, 3 Leyline of the Void. I'm going to be open and honest. I think this list is a little bit underpowered, so I think you need some haymakers to be able to deal with certain decks, certain styles of decks. So I think the Leylines of the Void are that. 2 Thoughtseize, just as a way to interact, a Haywire Might, and 3 Prismatic Endings. Those are mostly considerations for artifact style decks. So we are going to run this through a league. We're going to give it a go, and we're going to see how this goes. I'm excited. I'm excited for this deck. I think this is going to be fun. All right, our opponent is in for a treat here. Match 1, we are playing against Dylan Gregory. We are on the draw. Our opening 7. Our opponent said they like our content. Let's see if they enjoy this one. Okay, so I think this opening 7 might actually be a little too slow on the draw. They mulligan to 6. I think we're going to do the same. I think we're going to mulligan to a 6-card hand. This is also really slow, but I think it's a little bit more resilient than what our previous hand was. And I like having the Butcher Ghoul to block like a Ragavan or something. So I think we're going to keep this. And I think we get rid of the Servant. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see how this one goes. If you'll notice the deck list, I do have a Verdant Catacombs, or an Overgrown Tomb in the list, and that's a consideration for Prismatic Ending as well. All right, let's see how this goes. All right, they're playing, I'm guessing, Hammertime. We're gonna fetch during their end step. We'll get our Ghoul into play next turn. Okay, Stoneforge. Feels like a Cauldron. Cauldron is going to be really, really strong against this deck just because it does do a fair amount of damage to itself. Yeah, I don't know if Augur is where we want to be here. Just the amount of damage that this thing's going to deal to us is it's a little rough. Okay, in comes Cauldron. It's weird that black got an Undying Creature and it's a 1/1 for 2 mana, whereas green has an Undying Creature that's a 1/1 for 1 mana. Black got gypped a little bit. It does provide, I guess the fact that this is a zombie, it has a little more synergies, but still feels like black got ripped off a little bit. All right, they're almost hellbent here. All right, we drew our second messenger, which isn't great. I'm going to leave the Ghoul back to block the Stoneforge and just save ourselves a point of life here. We'll get our messenger into play. I wonder if the Headless Rider is the move. I wonder if that's better. Like, it doesn't feel like we're comboing here. Maybe we are. Maybe that's the move. We'll see. We do need to hit a land drop on our next turn, and we do need our opponent not to have anything, pretty much. So we'll see if we can fulfill both of those conditions here. All right, Giver, that's fine. We can always chump block the Germ next turn too with the Messenger. They could give it protection, but all right, that is not great. That is definitely not what we were looking for. All right, so we can go Carrion Feeder, Headless or Carrion Feeder Undead Augur. The Undead Augur, I feel like, is a negative for us. I think I'm going to get the Headless Rider into play. All right, I think we're going to swing with the Butcher Ghoul to start with. Get a little damage in here. This is our first game with this list, so I'm not exactly sure how it is, but we're going to find out. We're going to find out. Feels like we're losing this game. Our hand was a little bit slow. But this is a nice little synergy here. If we do get the opportunity to block with our Geralf's Messenger. I don't think we're going to. All right, and this feels like a Shadow Spear probably. We do need to hit a 4th land drop. If we get our 4th land, we can kind of combo. We can at least create some chump blockers. But then again, they have the Giver, which is problematic. So I don't know that we're necessarily going to be able to do that. I guess we could go like Carrion Feeder into, I forget what the card is called, but the one that gains me life, that also could be an option. So sideboard, I think this matchup's actually going to be a little bit tougher than what is normal for Yawgmoth, just because we don't have Force of Vigor in our sideboard. Okay, so they got the Shadow Spear, which is what I was expecting. They play it out. Let's see if they have another land. Okay, giving them Pro Black, which is not great. Would really love to block with my Messenger here. All right, so we got our 4th land here. I don't think this is going to be enough, though. Just the fact that they have Pro Black. 1, 2. So we're going to go down to 3. Okay, I think we lead with an attack with the Messenger. I think we have to do that. All right, they block with Stoneforge. We're cool with that. Go down to 3 here. Okay, and now the move is, I mean, we have to kill this Giver of Runes. I don't know that it's going to be enough. Yeah, the ramp that we do have is Vile. So it's not that we don't have ramp, it's just not, it's different. All right, so we got some blockers. We're at 1 life. So kind of stabilized a little bit here. Kind of, sort of. All right, I think Ginger Brute just kills us here. That's funny. All right, we'll scoop this one. Next game. All right, we were like one turn off of doing stuff. Okay. We're definitely bringing in prismatic endings. We're going to bring in the Might. I almost don't hate Thoughtseize. I don't know if I hate the Honor Guard as well to deal with Stoneforge. I feel like we might actually just have enough answers to deal with Stoneforge. I don't know if we need the Honor Guard here. Messenger seems a little slow. Augur feels a little slow. Artisan isn't bad. And I think we shave on maybe some Carrion Feeders. Gravecrawler. Maybe bringing one Thoughtseize. One Thoughtseize seems medium. Maybe we go with the Honor Guard just to be able to tutor it up. So 3 Gravecrawler, 3 Feeders, 4 Champion. So we're definitely taking a little bit more of a defensive stance this game, but let's see if this works. All right, we are on the play. All right, we have a Vial this game, which is nice. So I think this is a keep. We have Fiend Artisan, so we can find ourselves a Yawgmoth. We can find, you know, whatever answer we need to what they're doing. We do have the Might in the list as well now, so we can find something with that. So they mulligan to 6 here. So turn 2, we can go either Fiend Artisan and Carrion Feeder with our Vial, and then turn 3 we can kind of do some stuff from there. I played a list with Fiend Artisan last night. It was pretty solid in combination with Vial. This is literally my first match with this deck, so I can't really speak on how it's been in this list, but I mean, Fiend Artisan in general, I think is a really strong card. I think it's on the cusp of being good enough for our deck, for Yawgmoth decks. Okay, Might is actually really good. So here, I think we're going to fetch and shock, get our Godless Shrine. I think we get our Fiend Artisan out. Oh, I actually need a green source to sacrifice to the Might. I forgot about that. That's silly. I completely forgot that that was a contingency for this card. I'm just so used to always having it that I didn't even think about it. So we do need to find another fetch land to have something for our Might here. It was a pretty big mess up. All right, they have Sanctifier, which seems strong against us because all of our cards are black. And our combo is contingent on black cards as well. All right, there's a Godless Shrine. That's not great. So our hand is pretty lackluster at this point. I completely forgot about Sanctifier being a thing. That's really problematic. Okay, so we can empty our hand. I don't know if the life loss is worth it. Maybe we dump the Fiend Artisan and try to find a better 2-drop, or maybe let's take a look at the list real quick and see if there's anything that's more worthwhile. Champion isn't bad. That can get big quick. I definitely want to work my way towards a Yawgmoth here. I think Champion of the Perished is probably the best card, so I think we're gonna Alright, so I'm going to put the Servant into play. So it'll give us a little bit of a life boost here. Actually, that was sequenced incorrectly. Never mind. That was a mistake. Yeah, I should have sequenced that the other way. Because it would have boosted the champion instead of the other way around. So we need a prismatic ending to be able to really do our thing here. We need to get rid of the Sanctifier. I also need a green source. Stoneforge. Imagine they're getting a Cauldron here. They have one card in hand. Okay. So we know what they're working with at this point. I'm wondering if I tick up the vial. I think we hold off on that for now. Okay, so we're gonna go Rider. We'll drain for one, we'll pump here. And then we'll flash in the Butcher Ghoul as well. So we're growing our champion here. We definitely can attack because of the Sanctifier. Really, really need our green source. And they can actually equip their Cauldron. We need a green source or an ending. Those are the two cards that get us out of this. Yeah, this does have 4 Fiend Artisans in it, but this is a little bit different. All right, here comes Cauldron for the second time. They're hellbent. They'll draw a card off the Paladin here. All right, we're taking a hit for 5 here. I'm assuming the interaction between Sanctifier and all my creatures when they die is that the the Headless Rider is not going to trigger. Oh, wait. Oh, okay. Yeah, we got this. All right, we'll use Vial. Get our triggers here. Having this Servant is nice because it actually makes their clock a little bit slower. I think we're going to stay on 2. Right, Carrion Feeder. Yeah, if we didn't have... If they didn't have the Sanctifier, the Carrion Feeder would be really, really good here too, but they do. So here, I think we're going to Fiend Artisan our Ghoul and get another Wayward Servant. And like, that's our game plan at this point, just try to like drain them out. If we had drawn a 2-drop there, that would have been nice, but did not happen. So if we can pull a 2-drop zombie next turn. Oh, they're going to have hammer. Never mind. We're just dead. We're dead. I'm scooping. Yeah, the big mistake I made that game was not fetching the green source for the Might. I completely forgot that required green to activate. Just because I'm so used to playing Yawgmoth and you always have the green. So, all right. We're 0-1 here with Orzhov Zombies. All right. Orzhov Yawgmoth Zombies. Let's try again. Let's try again. For anyone that is just joining, this is the list here. This is what we're doing today. Definitely need some more tweaking. You know, whenever you play a new deck, the matchups post board there's a large learning curve, I think, and that I think was a good example where like a card that I never think about, Sanctifier in Vec, is just like a complete house versus this build. So I think we definitely need more answers. I think probably a 4th Prismatic Ending is reasonable, especially given how popular that Hammertime is, and I think the Might probably gets cut for that. I don't think Might is good enough, given the fact that it requires green mana. So, but game 1, we kind of almost did our thing. All right, I played against this person last night in my league as well. They were on, I don't remember. That's okay. It'll be a surprise for both of us here. All right, opening 7. This is not going to work. We're going to mulligan this. And our 6-card hand, I think we can keep this. So Feeder, Champion, and Gravecrawler, I feel like that's pretty strong. I think we get rid of the Drolfs here. Or the Yawg. I think maybe this is just like an aggressive hand. Our opponent's going to be like, what in the world are you doing? Yeah, Champion, Feeder, Gravecrawler. Yeah, this deck is a good time. They're down to 5. I mean, this hand turns the corner pretty quickly. We could potentially kill them by like turn 4, I guess. Champion is how we're going to sequence this. Hopefully our champion lives. Looks like you've been winning too much lately. Yeah, I'd say so. I just need to do something different. Esper Sentinel. Okay, so they're on hammer as well. It's funny, this is the same way my last league started. It was hammer into hammer. Alright, we'll go Carrion Feeder. We'll go Gravecrawler. We're not great at blocking right now, of note. We're going to have some pretty big threats pretty quickly, though. The Feeder will be a 5 or a 3/3 next turn, and the Champion will be a 5/5. Drum. I mean, the hope here is they don't have aid into Hammer. But we might even be able to race that. If they go 8 into Hammer, we might be able to race. Alright, and that was not a bad draw. So I think we go land, get a basic. Put a messenger into play. We're going to swing with the team. I'm kind of anticipating the champion dies. We'll see if that happens here. This feels like a hammer's getting equipped here, or not. Okay. This is not a bad turn 3. Let's see how much damage this is. This is 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, they're almost dead here. They're down to 4. So as long as they don't go hammer, hammer, we'll be okay here. Okay, Paladin, I don't think that's good enough. See, the thing about Shadow Spear is we can just sacrifice one of our creatures, whoever they block, and then they don't get the life off of the Shadow Spear. So that's not gonna be good enough. Put the Augur into play. We'll draw a couple cards. Yeah, I'm not sure what their out is here. Okay, we're up a game. Cool, cool. All right, so we are going to bring in the Might again. We need the endings. And then I think I'm going to bring in Thoughtseizes this time so I have an answer to Sanctifier right off the bat. I think we get rid of some Drolf's Messengers. Augurs do deal quite a bit of damage to us. I think we're dumping those. Gravecrawler and a Feeder. Or maybe we get rid of 2 Feeders and keep in a Gravecrawler. I feel like Gravecrawler is probably a little bit better just because 3/3 is probably fine. They kind of work with each other. All right, let's try this. The splash of Predicted in the sideboard, the Honor Guard in the Eidolon. I feel like if you're running white in the current format and you're running a creature-based deck, I feel like those cards are reasonable inclusions. I will say that Honor Guard definitely hurts this deck more than it hurts regular Yawgmoth. But I think the upside is worth it. Oh, the 2 white ley lines. Yeah, I just couldn't fit any more. We're going to keep this 7. This hand's a little bit slow, but I think this is a keep. So we'll go Fetid Heath into Vial, and then turn 2 we'll get another Vial out depending on what they do. Could also ending something. All right, that's really annoying. All right, yeah, everything we have is a non-creature at this point, pretty much. I wonder if we give them a card. I think we have to. Unfortunately. Yeah, there are a lot of ETBs. I think this guy's an ETB. All right. It's a strong start. Respectable. We will be able to deal with it. We'll be able to ending that. So that will be nice. Having the servant could pay dividends. All right, there's Might again. Might is decent just as a chump blocker here. We're going to take quite a bit of damage though. All right, we're going to ending the Sentinel. They're going to draw another card. No, we cannot pay 11. I think we're kind of priced into thought seizing them as well, so we're going to go down to 6. And I think we're going to get rid of this Shadow Spear just to keep them off a clock. Their hand isn't great. Yeah, I think we're just going to get rid of the Shadow Spear. And we'll pass the turn from there. How consistent was Yawgmoth? That's a pretty good draw for them. All right, so yeah, we just die here. They just get a hammer. How consistent was Fiend Artisan grabbing Yawgmoth in the list last night without the dorks? I think it might have happened once in the 5 matches, but Artisan did do some work. It did grab some very relevant cards, so it was strong, despite the fact that it wasn't always getting Yawgmoth. Okay, this is game 3. We're on the play here. This 7, so this is kind of like an aggressive 7. We're going to keep it. We'll see how this goes. I mean, this is kind of like what our deck does, so I don't know if this is good or bad, but we're going to go with it. So just 2 matches in, I think there's a pretty apparent deck building error in the fact that I kept, that I have the Might in the deck. There's a drum, okay. Play out a courtyard, play out a ghoul, and I'm going to save the sacrifice for the rider. Like this is like an engine here with these cards, so we're gonna wait on that. Just so I can get the Undying trigger with it. 2 mana, this feels like a paladin. Yes. See if they're drawing a card off of this. No, okay. Messenger is good. I'll play out our courtyard here. All right, so we're going to attack with both. If they block either or, we're going to kill the paladin. not either or. If they block the feeder, we're going to kill the paladin. Yeah, so they're taking 2 either way here. And they're kind of like on a 2-turn clock here. Like with the messenger in our hand. If we draw into a Yawgmoth, we can kind of go infinite from here. So I feel like if they had a hammer, they would have used it last turn. They would have played it out. So I don't think they have a hammer. All right, ending isn't bad, but I don't think that's our play this turn. I think we save the ending for next turn. I think we're just trying to get them dead. Or, I mean, maybe I ending, but they get to draw a card off that. I don't think that's where I want to go. So we're going to attack feeder, ghoul, and zombie token. We'll keep the rider back. If they want to trade paladin with the ghoul, I'm fine with that. Okay. So much like last game, we kind of have ways around that. Let's see how this goes here. How much damage are they taking? 4, 6. Seven, 8, 9, 10, 11. Oh, we are. Do we have lethal? There's 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Yeah, we're 1 point short of lethal here. I don't think our opponent realizes that. I don't think they realize they were very, very close to dying. I don't think we get rid. I don't want to let them draw a card, so I'm not gonna ending anything this turn. We just need to dodge one more turn. One more turn. See if we can do it. Okay, paladin number 2. That's aggressive. That's very aggressive. Wow. Okay, that's fine. That is fine by me. All right, so let's see if we can get the kill here. Okay, I think that's just lethal. I believe so. I guess I should have played out the Heath first. Call this going wide. Okay, they get the idea. We got there. All right. This is match 3 of our Modern League. We are jumping in, playing against Lou Rice. We are on the draw, which feels really bad with this deck, but let's see if we can make up for lost time. Currently 1-1. Let's see what Lou is doing. All right, this I think we're gonna keep super slow, but I think it's worth. We're on the draw, so if we pull something like a land, I think we're, wow, this is 3 matches in a row against Hammertime. We're really getting our reps in this matchup. Second Fiend Artisan, not great. All right, we're priced into casting our Vial here, unfortunately. Definitely doesn't feel good being on the draw in this matchup right now. But we're just basically, we need to hit a land drop, and then we need to ramp into our Yawgmoth. That's how we win this game here. And by ramp I mean Vial into Yawgmoth. That's gonna throw a little bit of a, it's gonna be a little bit problem. So now we need one of our life gain guys as well. Yes. All right, that was not a good draw. We needed a land there. The fact that we didn't hit one, it's probably just game over. Yeah, this league would have been nice for Yawgmoth. Hammer into hammer into hammer. I've been seeing so much hammer recently. To Ferry. That's really weird. Okay. It's pretty good against what we're doing right now. Pretty good. Yeah, so the only way we win from here is just hitting our land drops. If we can go Butcher Ghoul into Giralf's Messenger into Yawgmoth. It's weird they didn't attack there. Okay, land drop. And we'll swing down to Ferry here. Or maybe not. I guess if they double block here, we're kind of okay with that. I'm okay with killing the Stoneforge, so they can't get Cauldron into play. That will buy us quite a bit of time. So if that's a trade they want to make, I'm on board. Okay, they do not. Four straight rounds of Hammertime in a 1K. That's just, yeah, just walk your way right into the top 8. Yes, please. I guess next turn we could also go like Vial into Fiend Artisan. That would also be, if we drew a land, a viable line. Spellbomb's annoying. We bounce our champion here. This actually kind of feels like Urza. Like Urza Affinity? Yeah, okay. That makes a little more sense. The Teferi, like, that's not something that you see in Hammertime, so the way this is playing out makes a little bit more, makes a little more sense. Portable Hull hits our vials as well, which is kind of annoying. All right, we'll get our messenger out. So they're going to have main deck Pithing Needle as well, I believe. I'll swing for 3. Oh, I forgot about the Cauldron. Duh. Okay, that's a punt. That's a punt. That's a minor detail. Cauldron. Yeah. Right. Feels like we're a little far behind at this point. Sentinel number 2. Sentinel is just really, really good against any deck with Vial. That is the one thing that I've come to realize over the last like 20 matches playing Vial decks. Okay, Gravecrawler, not great. So I guess we go Gravecrawler into Fiend Artisan. And leave our Drolf's Messenger back. Later, Jesse. I don't know how we're winning this game, but it doesn't look good right now. I would probably scoop at this point if well, I guess they can just get Shadow Spear now, which will just kill us. Womp. Yeah, okay. That's going to be game. I'm not going to make them go through the motions there. Okay. Against Urza, I think we're going to board very similarly to how we boarded against Hammertime. I think it's going to be these same 6 cards. Kind of getting good at this. We'll shave a Gravecrawler, we'll shave a Feeder. Champion actually seems really bad with them having Portable Hull and having Teferi. Augur's nice value. Butcher Ghoul is fine. I think we'll shave a Messenger again. Maybe shave a bunch of our 1-drops. Shave 1 Augur. No, Fiend Artisan feels kind of slow. Maybe I go 3/3/3 on all of our 1-drops. Yeah. Okay, let's try it this way. See how this goes. This feels like a matchup we're not supposed to win. Once again, like if I were to do this again, like step 1 would be Prismatic Ending number 4. I think that's probably pretty important. And like with a green splash, maybe Crime Punishment is worth having in the sideboard for these like go wide artifact strategies. All right, I think this is fine. Once again, this is just kind of what our deck does, so I don't think we can get rid of this hand. I think we're going to start with a basic. No, I think we're going to have to fetch shock. I think we need to get a Godless Shrine. We're going to be dealing quite a bit of damage to ourselves in the early game here. Alright. Cool with that. Tap land. Alright, turn 2. So I think we're going to play out our Gravecrawler. Play out the Catacombs and then pass the turn. After an attack, of course. This is a less mana efficient play, but it gets more damage in. And then turn 3 we can go Messenger, and turn 4 if we draw another land we can go into Yawgmoth. Portable Hole, see who they take with this. Okay, take our champion, cut us off a little bit of damage here. Okay, so let's not forget, we're getting our green source here. So if we get our might. They have like a really slow hand. We kind of have a slow hand too, though. We're not getting out of the gates very quickly here. Our best draw is land 100% here. Okay, there's a Foundry. Kind of feels like they don't have a land drop. We'll see. Okay, they do. I was wrong. Okay, got our land. So we lead with a swing for 5. Then I think we play out the Yawgmoth. I mean, they have to answer it. And they can't have something like a Metallic Rebuke up. So we're going to draw 2 cards here, I think. Alright, might is decent. See if they have an answer for Yawg here. And if they don't, they just lose. Okay, is this just combo? Are we just dead at this point? Sacrifice the Hull. So, mana, sacrifice Portable Hole, or I guess they sacrifice the, oh, that's annoying. That's annoying. I guess we can get rid of that though. Feel like we just lose from here. Maybe I'm wrong. All right, so from here, so I lead Ghoul, might get rid of the needle. I guess there's also an argument to get rid of the Thopter Foundry, but okay. I'm going to draw a couple cards to get a land drop. And then we're going to dump the Urza. Okay, there's an Urborg. Recast Gravecrawler. Okay, Urza's gone. I mean, they can just gain infinite life from here, though. Or maybe not. Okay, so I think we just passed the turn. I'm wondering if they just have another Urza in hand. Oh, the Thopter Foundry is non-token. That's why that doesn't work. Okay. And then we discard a Gravecrawler here, I think. Okay, that's a little problematic. And they have 7 damage on board, so this is just lethal. So we're priced into blocking the construct here. All right, that was worst possible draw. That's okay. How do we get ourselves out of this situation? So these guys can't block. So that doesn't do us any good. Champion blocks, Yawg blocks, Fiend Artisan blocks. 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Fiend Artisan is a 5/5. I mean, they can just sacrifice a bunch of artifacts here if our strategy is to like clog up the ground. I didn't realize Fiend Artisan was a 7/7. Yeah, once again, our deck not very good at blocking. Not good at blocking. It'd be nice if we had a way to give our creatures haste. That would be nice, but unfortunately we don't have that. It's weird that they didn't make more flyers here. Spellbomb, okay. Okay, yeah, so they get rid of one of our blockers here. Okay, yeah, they got us a million ways over. That's fine. That's fine. All right, so we are 1 and 2. Let's jump back in. It'd be nice if we could get, you know, a 3-2 record with this deck. I'd be happy with that. Win the next 2. I'm gonna step out for just a second and grab more coffee. I'll be back in just a sec. All right, we are back. This is match 4 of our Modern League. We are playing against Pneumatic. We are 1 and 2. We are on the play. Let's see if we can finish this thing out with 2 wins. All right, opening 7. I think this is pretty strong. Like having some sort of a sacrifice effect would be nice, but I think this is good enough, so we'll keep this. So we're gonna go Shrine into Champion, and then Castle into Champion and Gravecrawler. So we'll have a 3/3, a 2/2, and a 2/1. Another land drop would be nice. Oh my gosh, is this our 4th match in a row against Hammertime? Wow. 4th match in a row where this has been the turn 1 play. This is crazy. Format is solved. Hammertime is the only deck you can play. Right, play out our castle. Lead on another champion. And a Gravecrawler. And hit for 3. We'll see if this aggressive start is good enough. Love to hit my 3rd land drop next turn. If we can go like 3rd land drop into Carrion Feeder, I think that would be good enough to get there. Oh wow, this is the same deck we just played. That's so crazy. Playing against Urza Affinity again. Not a very diverse league, I'll tell you that much. Alright, can I holla out a land drop? Land. Alright, Carrion Feeder. I mean, I feel like I can't argue with that. That's a pretty good draw. Main deck Metallic Rebuke. Okay, wasn't expecting that. That would have been really, really good if we had gotten that to resolve and then go into Headless Rider next turn. It would have been nice. In the chat earlier, my buddy Jesse made a comment that this is, if we were actually playing regular Yawgmoth, this league would be a very, very nice league. But unfortunately, we're not. Joke's on me, I suppose. All right, so we hit our 3rd land drop. I think we get our Headless Rider into play. And hope that it stays in play. obviously no attacks here. Now we have to dodge an Urza from them this turn. Dodge a lot of things. Removal. Good cards. Because we don't really have good cards. We have very bad cards. All right, their creatures are starting to outclass ours a little bit. All right, second Portable Hull. This card's very annoying against our deck. I feel like you should get rid of the Gravecrawler there. Weird they didn't attack. Carrion Feeder? Yawgmoth, not bad. We do need a land drop to be able to cast that one. Alright, lead with an attack here. There's no reason not to. Butcher Ghoul is nice to just like hold down the board a little bit. You have 2 cards in hand. Once again, as long as they don't have Urza, we're kind of okay with this. Land drop. Alright, second Yawgmoth, not where we want to be. Okay, dodge and Urza. That's the move. Them fetching here, a little weird. Alright, second Thopter Foundry, sure. Third, okay, sure. Sure. Redundancy in this card, not great. Feel free to attack with your 10-10. Alright, this is the turn where drawing a land would be nice. Okay, so we have the combo if we can draw a land once again. They're not really doing anything. We're going to attack again, for sure. Alright, I feel like we have one more turn to make this happen. Depending, I mean, if they draw something, we could just be dead, but... if they top deck like a land or an Urza Saga or something like that, give us one more turn to make this happen. They're playing something. Oh, okay. Yeah, it's going to be a lot of damage. Forgot they could do that. All right, they drew a land. If we draw a land, we win. Land. All right, Carrion Feeder. Is that good enough? I don't think that's good enough. Swing for 4, put them down to 3. The fact that they can gain life off of the Thopter Foundries, though, I think it just puts them out of range, but these things dying will trigger twice, so it doesn't really... That actually might have given us lethal here. This might actually be good enough. One, two, three. They can gain 3 life. I think we actually have them here. Wow, I was not expecting that. Okay, they scooped. We got there. Wow. Wow. That was cool. That was fun. Headless Rider for the win. I feel like this list should have 4 Wayward Servants and probably 4 Headless Riders and like depend less on the Undying package. Like one less Geralf's Messenger. I feel like that's worse. Okay, I'm going to do the same thing I've been doing every match this league. Because I think that's the way to go here. Thoughtseizes Might and Ending. Shave a Messenger, Shave an Augur. Feeder, Champion, Gravecrawler. Artisan? I wonder if Champion's just like not good enough. Maybe we just get rid of all the Champions. Go up to 4 Fiend Artisan. Let's try that. I feel like Vile's really bad against them too, but I mean, there's only so much we can cut. Yeah, this is not, we can't do anything with this. This is a mulligan. They kept a 7. Okay, I don't hate this. We'll keep this. And we'll get rid of, I guess, basic Swamp. Or Urborg. Yeah, we'll do that. Wonder if they name Yawgmoth here. Carrion Feeder, interesting. We've struck fear into their hearts and souls. Okay, I think I'm gonna lead. I wonder if I go Gravecrawler. Gravecrawler into like Artisan, into Thoughtseize, Ghoul. We'll see how this plays out. Our sequencing is going to be okay, so that kind of makes the decision for us. Drawing into another 1-drop would be nice. If they got Cauldra, it makes it pretty easy what we're going to do. Shadow Spear. Okay. Maybe they have Cauldra in hand already. We're going to start with an attack for 2. I think, I don't love Thoughtseize here, but I feel like that's the... Like if they have Cauldra, we just can't beat that with this hand, so this feels bad. Yeah, they do have the Cauldra, so that was the right move. Their hand isn't great, very reactive. I mean, the Shadow Spear kind of negates our attacks, but they'll be able to rebuke something, but that doesn't really matter too much. Spellbound, they have 2 cards in hand. Okay. Land drop? Not a land drop. We seem to be drawing into our Yawgmoths A little more than I would prefer. Start with a swing. I think we'll play out the Augur. I think they probably counter this, if I had to guess. Which we're fine with. I'd rather have the Fiend Artisan. Alright, so they have one card in hand. We don't know what it is. I'm guessing they probably draw with the Spell Bomb. Alright, Thopter Foundry is fine. Really need to hit our land drop here. Vial isn't great. Vial's a little late here. So no blocked, so to me that means Fiend Artisan is probably the better move here. So this plays 20 land. I think maybe going up to 21 might be the right call. All right, so they don't have Urza as of yet, so they can't combo. Can I get a land? All right, we got a land. Hit for 2. Life doesn't matter all that much at this point. I'm gonna fetch Shock, I think. I just want to have access to my green source. We'll get a Butcher Ghoul. We'll get our Aether Vial. Pass the turn. Alright, so we're 4 turns away from getting a Yawgmoth into play with our Vial. We're on our way. We're doing it. And they're just leaving up their Foundry line here. Or they have a counter spell in hand. Alright, so there's an Augur. I think I'm going to lead Augur. And then attack with the Gravecrawler once again. Hopefully I can draw a card off the Augur. Nope. They're not in for it. Once again, they just passed the turn. Strange. Strange they're not doing anything. Alright, so we can vial in our Fiend Artisan. Second vial, not great. I guess maybe we attack him with the Ghoul as well. Yeah, it's weird they didn't do that last turn. It's really unusual, confusing. They got their 4th land, so if they do have an Urza, that is a possibility. Alright, so if our Artisan stays in play now, We do have a little bit of an engine between the Augur, the Artisan, and the Gravecrawler. We're going to go up on both of these. If we draw a 2-drop, that will be unfortunate, but... Alright, there's a second Artisan. So there's our 2-drop. Alright, so I think here we start with an attack with the Gravecrawler. If they want to block the Gravecrawler, I'm fine with that. That gives me an extra card. Alright, there's our 4th land. It does quite a bit of damage to us, though, with the Augur in play. I think we have to get Yawg down. So we're going to lose 2. I think we're pretty close to dead at this point. So if they don't have an Urza here, next turn, if we get a next turn, this feels like an Urza. Okay, yeah, they got it. Like we do have lethal next turn with the Rider. Okay. Okay. This was a consideration for like ley lines, but I think we just go with what we have. We can run like a 1 of a ley line to cut him off the combo, but I don't think that that's worth it. Augur seems medium. Like it, the idea behind it is nice, but like your life total is just drained so quickly between Augur and Yawgmoth. I feel like I think 4 is too many. I feel like going up to a 4th Servant is probably better. Alright, so this hand is kind of slow, but I think it's a keep. And we go turn 1 Violent to turn 2 Thoughtseize. But if they have like a portable hull, maybe this was a mulligan. This just probably should have been a mulligan. Like, there's just so many, like Pithing Needle or Portable Hull. Both of those cards completely shut us out of the game. They're going down to 6. I don't think I can turn to a Vial, though. I think I have to get it into play. Especially given the texture of this hand where I don't have mana to cast stuff. Hopefully we dodge a portable hole here. Doesn't feel like it. Okay, Spellbound. Cool. We did. Cool, cool. Land drop is nice. From here, I think I'm going to build out my board to start with, and then next turn we'll Thoughtseize them. We can go like Thoughtseize into Ending. Okay, hole. Let's see what they take here. Imagine they take the vial. They don't take the vial. All right, we'll drain them for 1 here. All right, vial number 2. I think we start with an attack here. And we'll Thoughtseize. See what we're up against and then decide. Okay, so this feels like a Metallic Rebuke. Okay. Say no to that. Then I think I'm going to get this guy back into play. I think we need to put a clock on them, so we'll wait on the second vial here. We're gonna lean on this one. All right, another one. Take my servant again, sure. They really don't like that guy. All right, they only have 2 cards in hand. We'll uptick our vial, go up to 3. Castle actually isn't bad. Gives us a little gas potentially. Play out the second vial, and then we'll pass the turn from here. I wonder if I draw with the silent clearing. All right, there's Cauldra. I think we're going to draw with the clearing here. Butcher Ghoul. All right, so we're going to keep 1 on 3, and then we're going to go up to 1 on the other one. All right, there's our 3rd land drop. We're going to swing for 2 here. Yeah, so if we draw Yawgmoth from here, we're in pretty good shape. Okay, let's remember this time they have Cauldra in hand. Last time we played into the Cauldra. That was not wise. We're going to get the Tomb. I guess we can attack with the Gravecrawler because the Cauldra trigger won't exile it. All right, we're going to go up to 2, and then I think until next turn we keep this one on 3. Or maybe we go up to 4 because they can just get a Pithing Needle with the Saga, so we kind of need to hit it if we can. All right, we'll go up to 4 here. Okay, not terrible. Definitely not bad. We'll see if this resolves. Okay, yeah, that's kind of unfortunate. We'll swing with the Gravecrawler here. No. No, we don't need to do that. I imagine they get Pithing Needle. I guess they could get something else to get an Urza into play as well. Wonder if they go Feeder, if they go Vial. Either Vial. Okay, reasonable. All right, feels like we're falling behind here. Just a little bit. Prismatic Ending wouldn't... No, I guess we don't have any white source. That wouldn't be great. Yes. No. I guess Might would probably be our best draw. There's our Yawgmoth. It turned too late. But still not over. Still not over. We basically just need to find a land. And dodge a counterspell as well. Talisman, sure. This is always going to be no. This is always going to be no. All right, we'll start on Carrion Feeder and then we'll go into our Fiend Artisan from there. Gives us a little bit of an engine with the Headless Rider. The fact they didn't counter anything there, to me says they probably don't have a counter spell. They still haven't seen Yawgmoth either in all of our games. It's weird they're not attacking with the Germ. I guess what we can do from here, okay, so this is good. We can activate our Artisan, get rid of the Gravecrawler. Get a Might. Might the Vial. The Pithing Needle on Vial. We're going to get a white source. I actually don't know if I need to get a white source here. I think I could probably just get a basic swamp to preserve my life total a little bit. See if they saw this one coming or not. All right, so we got our combo going here. This is sweet. Pretty nice. All right, There's another vial. We'll draw a few cards here. I'm not going to draw all of them, but... Alright, so we found a white source. We'll dump our Gravecrawler. Okay, okay, wasn't expecting that one. Oh wait, I should have been sacrificing to get rid of the germ token because that's going to stay in play. Okay, I think we'll let this happen from here. Okay, that's a respectable board state after a Supreme Verdict. We'll yield through the turn here, and then we'll discard Concealed Courtyard. Concealed Courtyard? I guess. Maybe I should have gotten rid of a vial. Alright, and we'll be able to rebuild next turn here. We'll get another rider into play. Portable hold a rider, I assume. Okay, that's fine. They have one card in hand, so if it's a Metallic Rebuke, they'll cut us off of Yawgmoth, but sure. All right, we'll see if this is a rebuke here. It's not. Okay, from here. Swing for 7. I don't think we have an untapped land, so I think we just play out our Shrine tapped. And then yield through the turn. And we'll get rid of our vials at this point. Those aren't doing anything. All right, we need to dodge for 1 turn here. One turn, we need to survive. They have 1 card in hand. Can we do it? Messenger, is that good enough? All right, they have a counter spell for the messenger. No, okay. So they have a blocker for 2 of our creatures. And then from there, Yeah, I think they're still just dead. All right, we're just going to swing with everybody. All right, and then before blocks, I was going to proliferate just to ensure our victory. We're playing against Shlomo. Shlomo for our 5th match of this Modern League. We are on the draw. We are currently 2-2. I think our opening 7 is a keep. Kind of have a little bit of our engine that we can utilize here. And what do you know? We're not playing against a blue-white deck. Wonder if this is scam. They're going to see this hand and be like, what in the world are they doing? What is going on? How did you make it this far in this league? Like carrion feeder, maybe? Fiend Artisan, okay. That's like the slowest card in our hand, so I feel like carrion feeder is probably the best. All right, we're gonna give them a little information here. We'll lead on our feeder. I think actually I probably should have led on Gravecrawler there. That was a mistake. Because if they have Wrenn and 6 on turn 2, this feels like scam, but if they do have Wrenn and 6 on turn 2, that's gonna hurt us. So we can go turn 2 Augur into turn 3 Rider. Or we can go turn 2 Gravecrawler, pump our feeder into turn 3 Rider. Like, we don't really need to draw cards right now, so maybe we just go Gravecrawler into Rider. And we're still using our mana because we can just bring our Gravecrawler back as long as the feeder stays in play. Okay, Ragavan. Sure. We don't really block that particularly well. Ragavan into Mountain. Interesting. So we're going to get our basic here. And just because they played a Ragavan, I think I'm going to go into Augur. And then we're going to... I think I hold off on the attack here. Feeder is my engine, so I don't want to dump it just yet. Oh, I wasn't supposed to F6. I was supposed to sacrifice that there. That was a mistake. All right, we're going to take a hit off the Ragavan. As long as they don't find Yawgmoth, I don't think it really matters too much what they get. Butcher Ghoul, sure. Actually wouldn't have been a terrible draw for us had we gotten that. We'll see if they play it out. I'm a big fan of when my opponents play out my own Undying Creatures and then I get to have fun with them. Alright, so from here, because we just drew another Headless Rider, I'm thinking I'm going to play one of them out. And then we'll pass the turn from here. So if they attack him with Ragavan, I think we just take the hit. Once again, the only card we really care about them hitting is Yawgmoth. So I think we take this. Okay, Gravecrawler. Once again, a card we are A-okay with them hitting. Look at the value. They're turning into a zombie deck on the other side of the battlefield. All right, we're about to have a really good turn if they pass here. If we get the opportunity. If they cast something like a Blood Moon, that will kind of slow us down quite a bit. This kind of feels like grief. Sure. You can grieve me. Take the other rider, I guess. Yeah, makes sense. Now we need this one to stay alive. Okay, that's not bad. I think we have lethal next turn. Now I think we can attack with our feeder here. If they want to block with the Butcher Ghoul, we are perfectly fine with that. Four, 5, 6. Oh, I didn't mean to do that. I wasn't supposed to F6 there. That's the second time I did that. I meant to pump that. So that should have been 2 times. That was a big mistake. This is a Fury. That's really, really bad for us. Okay. Yeah, losing that feeder, that might be the difference between winning and losing this match. I imagine they hit the Rider, the Servant. Okay. We're going to get 2 more. Yeah, that was a huge, huge misclick. I have to stop F6ing. All right. We'll block that. That's fine. All right, Yawg is a pretty good draw. Oh no. Oh my gosh. I am misclicking left and right here. I meant to cast Yawgmoth there. Alright, we got one more turn. Now if they draw like discard or something like that, that will be very, very unfortunate. Alright, that's fine. I don't know if they're in a position where they can attack with the Fury. All right, let's click on the right card this time. Okay, and they scooped. We got there. We got there. All right, so this match, we are going to bring in our ley lines, our thought seizes, and our honor guard. And here I think we're going to shave on messengers. Maybe we get rid of all of our grave crawlers. Augur feels like a card that's fine. I don't think we get rid of all of our grave crawlers. I think maybe we keep one messenger and we dump some feeders. Artisan feels like it could be powerful as well. Butcher Ghouls, medium. Okay, let's go with that. We'll see. Playing against Scam. If we draw some ley lines, that would be really, really nice. We do not have any ley lines. We got a lot of lands. So yeah, so there were 3 misclicks that game. That could have cost us. They mulligan to 6, I think. I think we'll keep this. All right, they keep their 6. Ragavan or a Thoughtseize. Okay, there's a Ragavan. We're going to take a hit off the Ragavan. Okay, that was a pretty good draw. So turn 2 will be able to go champion into Butcher Ghoul. There goes a ley line. That would be good against us, but they cannot cast that. Fortunately for us. Their best card they can have here, I think, is probably a Dothy, or if they can just scam us with like a Grief, that would be pretty good too. Okay, so I think we lead. Lead with the champion. Into a Butcher Ghoul. Pump our champ. And then pass the turn from there. Alright, now we have a blocker for the Ragavan. 2 blockers for the Ragavan, as long as we don't get Furied here. And in this instance, I can F6. So we're going to do that. Okay, so they take the Fiend Artisan here. Not too big a deal. Drawing into a like a carrion feeder would probably be our best draw. Go up on the vial here, and then, okay, that's not bad either. Play our rider. And then I think we attack for 4. So the nice thing is that if they Fury here, we're going to get a bunch of goblins or zombies off of it. So this drawing into the rider kind of gives us a little insulation against that play, which is really nice. So if they go like 1-1-1, it'll grow our champion really, really big too. So they kind of have to like get rid of the champion and then get rid of the rest of our board. Sure. That's fine. I'm not sure why they made that play. Doesn't make the most sense to me there. That was a strange move. Okay, I think we're going to uptick our vial here. No, actually I'm going to keep it on 2. I think we have the highest density of 2 drops in our deck, so that's what we're going to stick with. That's a pretty good draw. And I kind of expect our opponent to scoop with this one. All right, so from here, let's go a little ham. This is how mono black Yawgmoth, how it rolls. This is like our Patron in this list. Skeletons? That's an awesome name. What's up, Skeletons? Thank you for joining. Appreciate you being here. We are playing, we're getting a little crazy today. So we can actually get this champion really big. This might just be lethal. I realize that they can bring the grief back potentially, but we should be able to deal with that if they do that. Kind of feels like they might have another Undying spell. Okay, they don't. Our champion is very large at this point. This is pretty crazy. This is fun. Okay, let's swing. See if they can do something here. (11-11) champion of the parish. My opponent said nice deck, and they gave me a smiley face. I think that was a smiley face. Might have been an unhappy face. All right, we got there. We got there. We got a 3-2 with our zombie Yawgmoth tribal deck. Yeah, let's do the pile view here. This was pretty sweet. I think there was some tweaking to be done with the list. I think shaving, if I were to do this again, I would probably add, let's go to the deck in my collection here. So if I were to do this again, I think I'd get rid of the Honor Guard. I would get rid of the Might. I would go up to a 4th ending. Probably a 3rd Thoughtseize. I feel like I need some other way to remove artifacts. So actually, I think maybe a couple of crime punishments feel like they would be a welcome addition to this sideboard. So maybe like 3 ending and then an extra green source or an extra fetch land. And then you just have to aggressively get your green sources in those matchups where it matters. Oh, let me, I'm sorry, you can't see what I'm doing here. Sorry about that. Okay, yeah, so changes I would make. I would cut the Honor Guard, cut the Might. I think adding 2 crime punishment to the sideboard for decks like Hammertime would be good. Adding an extra fetch land, and then from here I think we can shave an Artisan and an Augur. We don't really have a ton of mana to work off of with the Artisan, so I think shaving 1 is fine. And I think Headless Rider is like a big part of our engine as well, so I think we want a 4th one of those. From there, I also don't hate having an extra land in the deck. So going up to 21 lands. And I think we can actually shave a Messenger as well, and maybe another Augur. So I think, yeah, if I were to do this again, I think this is probably what it would look like. I think this makes a little bit more sense. It's a little bit more streamlined. Like Feeder, Gravecrawler, Headless Rider, Wayward Servant, like that alone is a win con. So I think that's pretty good. And then if you get the Yawg, you can really start churning a lot of value with those cards. Messenger is fine, but it's definitely, if you're behind, this card is horrible. So that's not really, I don't think you want more than 2 of them. I wonder if we do anything else. I think this is pretty good. This looks good to me. I could see maybe shaving another Artisan, adding another Augur, or like just getting rid of the Artisans altogether. Augur seemed very medium to me. Like if there were another one of these sorts of effects with where I could gain life or trigger when zombies come into play, I think that would actually be really good. So that would be something I would consider. But yeah, I think this looks pretty good to me. I could see maybe getting rid of another ley line and running another ending. Another card I was thinking about for the sideboard was Silence, instead of like Chalices. But I feel like Chalices are probably a little bit better, a little bit more versatile. So yeah, so those are the changes I would make. I might test this again. I might play this one again because I think this was a lot of fun, and I don't know if it's good, but I think it could be competitive if it's tweaked and tuned the right way. Headless Rider seemed really, really strong in this sort of a shell. So yeah. So all right, everybody, I am going to clock out for the day. If you want to watch this whole video, I will have it up on YouTube at some point in the next week. So head over to my YouTube page. Feel free to hit the subscribe button over there if you haven't done so already. Please hit the follow button here if you haven't done that already. I really, really appreciate the support. And yeah, I hope everybody has a great rest of their weekend. I'm going to try to be back on tomorrow. We'll see if that happens or not. But until next time, I hope everybody is well and continues to be well. I'll catch you guys then.